From the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, this is an ITTV special report.
Our next guests want you to practice safe listening, and they have some very good ideas as to how to do that. And yeah, I'm talking about safe listening for us, for our kids, our grandkids, our parents, whatever the case. The Director of Public Relations for ASHA, the American Speech Language Hearing Association, is Joe Cerquone. Joe, welcome back into Tomorrow. It's been a while.
Yes, thank you very much, Dave. Good to see you.
Pleasure to have you with us as well. And you brought with you an audiologist with ASHA, Dr. Danny Fesler. Dr. Fesler, welcome into Tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you guys with us. Thanks, by the way, for supporting our Armed Forces feed, which you guys do now for the past few weeks and into tomorrow, because it's certainly not only a worthy cause to be able to be heard on our Armed Forces feed, but we have so many men and women in our military, veterans that are coming back, perhaps injured, hearing injuries with the percussion things happening over wherever they may be, that it's nice to know that ASHA is there to say, we're here for you, we can help, and there's some things you can do. So,
well, we were very happy to do that. It's our pleasure.
Oh, dynamite. Well, we're glad to do it for you and along with you. Tell me, first of all, about Listen to Your Buds. Remind our audience what that campaign is all about.
Sure. Well, I'm proud to say that we're here with the Listen to Your Buds campaign, perhaps with one of the most unique offerings in the whole show. It's not a product, it's simply a message. And it's a safety message, and it's simply to practice safe listening. Our target are very young children, trying to teach them how to use this wonderful technology that is being offered here at CES. There's a safe way and there's an unsafe way how to use it, and we're trying to promote the safe way of using it. And Dr. Fesler here sees every day in the course of his practice the results of what happens when people do have hearing loss, and perhaps he can speak to that a little bit and give people an idea of why we're so focused on the campaign.
Absolutely, and kudos to you guys for, pardon me, the throat. Right here in the desert, always happens. But kudos to you guys for working so hard at trying to help make our young people realize that everybody in the room doesn't have to hear your music when you're using earbuds. And that's too loud.
Yes.
That's a problem. And
that's
while
exactly
you think you're enjoying your music, you're hurting your hearing.
Right.
That's exactly right, because with noise-induced hearing loss, what will end up happening, if you do lose your hearing, it does not come back. And that's why it's very important for us to remember that, like the Listen to Your Buds campaign.
For sure. And what is it then what's the message specifically? I mean, is it just turn it down, which the kids are going to go, yeah, okay. Or what message are you able to deliver?
Well, there's a couple of messages. The primary message is to listen at a safe level, to keep the volume down. On a lot of the technology, there's not really what safe level is. A good rule of thumb is halfway on the volume control. But because we're targeting very young children, parents are a primary influencer of their behavior. Also, it just so happens that the kids are of an age where they're spending more time with their kids as opposed to when they become teens or older.
Right.
So we're asking parents to model good, safe listening, to talk to their kids about safe listening, to go to the Listen to Your Buds site where they can find a lot of resources that can inform them about what the health risk exactly is and what you can do to protect your kids and yourself against that risk.
And there are, and of course, and I'm sure you get a lot of times, especially the teens that are saying, half volume, I want to hear it, I want to enjoy it.
Right.
How do you then convince them? I mean, are you saying, soon your ears are going to bleed, for crying out loud? I think, too, what Dr. Fesler said, you don't get it back. You lose your hearing, it's gone.
Right. Well, perhaps Danny could talk a little bit more about what he sees with people who do have hearing loss, how difficult life can be.
What will end up happening is when people do start to lose their hearing, they start missing out on a lot of information, and then it becomes somewhat of a vicious cycle, because you need to turn it up louder for you to try to hear better, and that's what we want to try to prevent. And so therefore what happens is the hair cells inside your ear, once they become damaged, we can't repair them back at this time.
Right.
And so
maybe
therefore,
in the future there's some hope, but right now we have to deal with the technology we have.
Absolutely.
And if you lose it, you lose it. And so you've really got to drive that home as a parent to your kids.
Right. And this is the 4th year we're here at CES, and we're warmly received every year. And many of the people that are coming in front of our booth at this show are saying, this is a very important message. We're very glad you're here. We're partnered with CEA on this. We're very grateful for that, and we really appreciate the recognition.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. It's no doubt that it's a tough message, I know, and I think has been through generations. You know, it's not just these days the kids, they play that darn music so loud.
Oh, yes.
We all did.
Yes.
Fortunately, we all had some common sense and parents who cared and said, you're going to go deaf.
Yes.
And, pay attention to what's going on here. Turn it down.
Right.
And the rule of thumb I use, even with my own staff, if you're using earbuds and I can hear it, it's too loud.
That's exactly right.
That is exactly correct.
And that's probably a good way to deal with your teenagers especially.
Yes.
And if it can be heard like that in the room, let alone next to you, it's too loud. Turn it down or you know what, I'm taking them away.
You're right.
Because I'm going to do it for you. It's a tough love thing, right?
Well, yes, it is, because you want to make sure that they can turn it down so they can just continue to appreciate it.
For sure. Well, Danny and Joe, we thank you very much from the American Speech Language Hearing Association, ASHA, for joining us. And listentoyourbuds.org. Some really cool double meanings. You got a buddy, listen to him or her, trying to help save your hearing, and earbuds and how they can damage if you're not careful. Headphones, whatever the case might be. Not even headphones. How about just cranking it up in your room with the speakers?
Right. Yes.
Same problems. Listentoyourbuds.org, and you're going to learn some important messages there. Please heed them. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.